Welcome to Weekends with Whitney. Well, thankfully, last week is in the rearview mirror. We have finally thawed from the big freeze. And now our lives and temperatures return to normal. Hallelujah. And here's another reason for hallelujah. East Baton Rouge Sheriff Deputy Nick Tullier. It's a miracle he's alive. He wasn't expected to live after being shot in the head when an active shooter ambushed officers in the summer of 2016.
Shot fire, officer down, shot fire, officer down.
18 months later, he still has a long way to go. And this room full of supporters and famous singers are seeing to it he gets the medical care he needs.
It's always up to us to give back however we can give back, you know. You have your ways of giving, I have my ways of giving. It's just important that we do give.
More from the night's music and message coming up. Then Dr. Nick on that magical, almost immediate connection we have with some people. What does it mean and why we need to pay attention to it?
The reason why we struggle with understanding it is because it's kind of soul connection. And when you start talking about soul connections, you can't define it, you can't measure it, you can't see it. You know, you just almost have to feel it.
But first, the shining stars of hope.
Delta Dawn, what's that Calvary weather? Delta Dawn, what's that Calvary weather? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? And did I hear you say he was leaving you here today to take you to his mansion in the sky?
Country music superstar Tanya Tucker lended her voice to uplift and raise money for injured EBR Sheriff Deputy Nick Tullier.
If we could only do these shows every day for those guys and those men, those women that put their lives up on the line every single minute.
It was a powerhouse of performers that included Louisiana native Andy Griggs. Tonight proved Deputy Tullier wouldn't be alone on his journey of recovery.
It's just important that we do give. Everybody is a different instrument, everybody's a different tool. You know, so you don't compare what tool you are versus what I am or versus what he is. This is our way of giving back. Yeah, it means a lot.
A lot of people from all over filled this room with encouragement, including Governor John Bel Edwards.
I want to thank all of the musicians who are here tonight, and Scott for organizing this. What a great effort, and this room is just absolutely full. So God bless you.
Heisman Trophy winner Billy Cannon threw in his support too.
If you don't get to buy this church, I got it all in the car.
Radio personality Scott Ennis threw it all together.
I'm driving home early November. I'm reading all the stories. My wife's driving, so I'm bored, and I'm going through Facebook, and I'm reading all this drama about, Nick needing more money, the insurance deal. I just said, this guy, he really needs a big event, something that's really going to bring some big money out. And my wife looked at me and she said, no. And I said, oh, we got to. And she's like, okay. So this is a true story. So somewhere between Memphis and Jackson, Mississippi, I had the date and all the acts. It was amazing. No. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. And then, honestly, I didn't even have a venue book though. Yeah, so Cindy goes, where are you going to have it? And I went, oh, I knew there was something I forgot, She goes, oh, so you got a date and a venue, but you don't know where you're doing it? So I called the Marriott and I talked to Michelle, because, we've done so many things with them. And I said, please tell me you at least have Tuesday the 9th of January. And she's like, you know what? And she laughed. She said, you want to hear something weird? That's the only date in the entire month I have open, which absolutely happens to be also National Law Enforcement Day or whatever. You know what I mean? Pay tribute back to the officers. So, wow, talk about a little God work there. So it all came together, and wow. I mean, 6 of the biggest names in country music all came for nothing, for free.
That's hard.
Free.
This heart-filled evening included Restless Hearts, Larry Stewart.
This is a great community. This is like my 3rd or 4th time to be here to do something special for a fundraiser for, you know, whatever, for whatever reason, or for whatever the fundraiser was. And I've made so many friends down here, and just a great community.
Unity in community to make Deputy Tullier's difficult road more manageable.
They're trying to get a handicap van. The rehab, you know, they're having trouble with the insurance money now and everything. So, you know, the insurance, it's just a joke. But, you know, the insurance, they still want their money, and, you know, or we can't, you know, it's just a bad deal. So, more so tonight, we grabbed all these elements together, all the family together, all the law enforcement together to pay tribute to him, you know, and, you know, the fallen officers from that day, that ambush, their wives are here tonight. So there's just so much love in this building tonight.
Love brought in people from all agencies, including State Fire Marshal Butch Browning.
And we as not only public safety, but we as Americans, you know, we have to stand to the end for the people that defend us, both overseas and both on the home front. So that's why I'm here today.
Even those who acted as law enforcement and those who outran them lended a hand.
Don't ever forget that we are really truly one Baton Rouge, regardless of how much money we have in our pocket, regardless of our education, regardless of where we came from or where we are or what color we are or what we do for a living. Remember, we are one Baton Rouge, and we can be an example to everyone. And we are tonight. Thank you so much.
He's a very brave deputy, and I'm here to help raise money for his family, and we hope that it's going to be successful tonight.
It was rock solid.
Like so many Americans, you know, we were just sickened by what happened, and angry, sad, all those emotions that happened. And so when I was asked to be a part of this, I jumped at the chance. And I think it's not just important that we're raising money to help him and his family, but remind everybody, and that's why I'm so glad you guys are here, because because in America we have a tendency, we have very short memories, very short. And I remember when that happened, that's all anybody could talk about for about a week. And then you move on to the next news story or whatever, you know, and people just forget. And so I think by doing something like this, bringing all these names in, you guys supporting this, coming, it's a reminder everybody, no, this isn't over, it's just beginning for Nick, you know. And yeah, the event happened, but the aftermath is going to be ongoing for who knows how long, maybe his entire life. And And so, I mean, it truly is an honor for, I think, for all of us to be a part of this.
Deputy Tullier couldn't be part of this due to his rehab requirements in Texas. So the entire evening was captured for him.
The whole night's being filmed so that Nick can sit back on that big screen over there in their apartment and watch this whole night unfold for him over here.
I've got some friends in law enforcement, and you know, I would have never thought you know, people would turn on our police officers. Of all people, the people that, you know, it's like I don't know who wakes up every day and says I'm going to be a police officer anymore. You know, they're going to keep on there. We're going to have to protect ourselves.
Protecting the man who served amassed an astounding amount of money through tickets and an impressive auction.
So make your way out for $2,100.
Because of you guys and your love for Nick Tullier tonight, $167,000.
A legendary, once-in-a-lifetime evening.
Tanya and I go way back. This is the first time I've heard of her doing one of these guitar pull things like this where we all take turns. So that just shows you how much, what this means to her, you know. She's got a big heart. And, you know, I think if you were to put a Mount Rushmore of female country music artists, you'd have Dolly, Tammy Wynette, probably Loretta, and Tanya. I mean, she's one of those people.
So love me like you used to, when our love was brand new. And darling, when we're through, you can love me again and hold me like you want to, instead of like you had to. Love me like you used to love me, when you used to love me.
The fun in this fundraiser only intensified.
I said that's my story. That's my story. That's my story. That's my story. Well, I ain't got a witness and you know I can't prove it, but that's my story and man, I'm sticking to it. You know I ain't gonna do a thing, honey, unless you approve it. Come on. That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
They weren't about to let this party die down.
When I'm down, may not go to heaven. Yeah. I don't know, baby. So you think just to let me go, Louisiana. Louisiana is as close as I will. Let's keep going now. When I'm down, well, I may not go to heaven. But I don't know it, baby. Come on in. You baby, just to let me go, Texas. Texas is as close as I can. Louisiana is as close as we've been. And too bad. Take it, Tucker, ladies and gentlemen. Legendary. Yeah. Larry Stewart. Billy Dean. Mr. Andy Briggs. God bless you. Thank y'all. God bless Nick. Thank y'all for coming.
If you would like to make your own donation, there is a Nick Tullier GoFundMe page, and you can also find out more on his Facebook page. And still ahead, Dr. Nick, on why we have powerful connections with some people, but not others. What does it all mean? As Weekends with Whitney continues.
You see that? That's a trash can. It's a special place where trash goes. Not here, not here, not here. Is that a diaper? You know, the best part about the special place called Trash Can is there's not just one. There are trash cans everywhere. I'm the human dislike button, and I believe in you. I believe in your ability to find a trash can. To learn more about me, go to breck.org/HDB.
What attracts us to people more than others, be it a friendship, be it a romantic relationship? Why is there a connection with some people and not others? In fact, that is not even forced, that it just comes so naturally you can hardly believe how easy it is. Dr. Nick joins us this morning with more.
And you didn't add, but I know you wanted to, what appears to be almost immediate.
Yes.
It's not like it takes 3 or 4 years to become close. You just feel that instant connection.
Yeah, and oftentimes I find myself, it's even with people that I don't have everything in common with. You know, I guess it's easy to say, oh, we have the same interests and da-da-da. Maybe we work in the same field of business. It's easy to have a connection. But when you're just almost opposites, too, what is that?
That is really the real question that I struggle with. But I think, Whitney, the reason why we struggle with understanding it is because it's kind of soul connection. And when you start talking about soul connections, you can't define it, you can't measure it. You can't see it. You know, you just almost have to feel it. It's just, I'm comfortable. I'm safe.
Yes.
This is easy. We seem to get each other. That's all that kind of comes out. But I don't want to downplay the commonality.
Right.
We don't want to downplay that. I heard a story real quick the other day. I seen three people always together. Mm-hmm. And so I saw them the other day at a gig that I was playing, and I said, how did y'all meet? And it was so fascinating. One of the guys, it was a guy and a married couple, he said he was sitting at a bar restaurant. They walked up. He overheard them say something about music, and he's a musician. They started talking, led to, would you like to join us for dinner? They've been best friends since. They do everything together.
Oh, that's nice.
And again, I don't know that it was just music. I think there was some kind of soul connection that, again, is hard to define, because I would maybe ask them, well, what does that mean? Well, we don't know. We just kind of like each other, and we do things together now.
Yes. Well, and I say that, too, because sometimes we think maybe I would like to like that coworker better. Why can't I have that kind of connection like I do there? And, and sometimes it would make life easier, right? Certainly might make your job easier, but you can't create it.
No, you can't create it, and that brings to mind something else I think is important in the soul connection. It can take some people more time to let the barrier down, to actually feel more intimate. I have worked with a number of people who the first couple of months I'm like, wow, they don't like me. You know, I mean, the tendency, they don't speak. And now it's like this solid connection, and I'm thinking it really does take people sometimes a while to trust, to warm up.
So is it a trust factor? Is that it?
I definitely think it's a trust factor, and I think it's what I call a safety factor. I feel safe, emotionally safe. I feel like I can be vulnerable. I can be almost confessional, and you're not going to go gossip, or you're not going to put me down. It's just kind of a high level. Does that make sense? It's not going into anything that would be negative.
Right.
It's just pure enjoyment.
I heard something a few years ago that just shocked me. And explain to me where this comes from. Okay, a dear friend, lots in common, like her very much. And she said, I don't know, she'd met some new people or whatever. And I think maybe we all struggle with juggling things in life. She was like, I don't need any more friends. Someone wanted to have lunch with her or do something else, and she was like, I don't need any more friends. And she liked her, but she was just like, I'm not. And I thought, oh, that's almost sounded a little tragic to me.
There is a kind of both and, though, because there does come a time in our lives when we don't feel like we've got the energy for other or more relationships. I do. I was just with a very good friend the other night, and I was telling her, I said, well, he's interested in you. Why don't you go out on a date with him, and if it doesn't work, you can be friends. And she looked right at me and she said, I don't need any more friends. Very similar.
Very similar.
I'm like, oh, okay, I got that. But again, you're saying tragic because it could close the door to something that really could be potentially
one of their best relationships.
Very life-fulfilling and life-giving. And even if it's not very often that you might connect with a person, it still is a nurturing moment.
Yes, yes. I have a question, and it's probably a silly question, and there may be no answer, but it just occurred to me. What is more important in most people's lives, or more valuable? Is it friendship or is it romantic relationship?
I would say it's definitely friendships.
You would.
But remember, the romantic relationship that works the best is when it has a friendship in it.
Right, right.
And that's not always going to be the case, unfortunately.
Sure.
You know, but friendships, because remember, when I'm talking about friendships, I'm talking about that soul, easy, unquestioned,
natural almost, right?
Trusting, natural. For instance, if I ask you to do something and you say I can't, I'm not going to go off into a corner and say, oh, she doesn't like me. That's not friendship. Friendship is you take what you can get.
Yes.
And you enjoy, and it's like it's okay. And that I think is important. I don't want to discount the romantic, but I just think that the friendship part of it is so critical. I always want to say to people, you say to me that you love her or you love him, but do you like him?
Oh, right.
Do you just enjoy his or her company? Huh?
Yes.
Can you just hang out? I call it like monkeys. Can you just hang? You know how monkeys will just, hang and they'll just go from limb to limb? And you're thinking, gosh, I wonder if they're having a good time. I think
okay, if someone
they're just hanging.
If someone is not in a hanging relationship with their romantic partner, how do we increase that friendship then?
With the partner? Whitney, you just kind of have to take it for what it is. Remember the lady that said you need 5 men in your life, you know, one for the romance and the sex, one that's going to bring the money, one that's going to
fix it, and one that's going to dance with you.
One that can dance with you, and one that can converse.
Yes.
And you remember we're laughing about you're not necessarily going to get all of that in one person.
Right.
Ergo, the need to have a balanced life of people where there's no threat to the most significant relationship.
Right.
Right?
Right.
There again, you want that relationship to also be safe because it can put you in a lot of trouble when you start spending too much time with other people, especially if it's the opposite sex.
Yes, yes. So just plan fun things to do and monkey around?
And just kind of take it for what it is and try to understand each other's temperament.
Okay.
There really are people different. I mean, I say to you, I love you more than whatever my luggage, that line is. But honestly, I don't know that we could live together because we're both very high energy.
Right.
So
I would drain you.
I think you would.
You've told me that before.
I really do. And I think I'm high energy. But I just don't think you ever stop. I mean, I knocked on your door at 10:30 and you're ready to party. I just wanted a nightcap. But that's also because we're hanging. And I don't want to, don't you think that's part, we can just hang together. Doesn't need to be a big agenda. Doesn't need to be anything heavy that we're looking for.
Sure. I don't have to think what I'm going to say next, so I'm going to keep this conversation going.
Yes, it's companionship in its best nature. Companion means, in its root, to break bread together. Companion. Yeah. Isn't that a great image? You're just kind of breaking bread together.
Yes.
It's not just a Christian image.
Certainly.
Companionship.
Certainly. Well, I have people that I rarely get to see that I feel like I have magical friendships with, and this year I'm going to spend more time with them.
Good. I think that's a very good lesson that we can share with each other. Prioritize the people that really are life-giving, and do everything you can to kind of keep them in your life, and be grateful.
Oh,
I'm thankful for you
Yes.
You know, we may not connect very often, but
Yeah.
I'm grateful for you. Part of our problem, real quick, is that we live in a society where we're pulled.
I know.
I was just reading something the other day on chronic lateness, and I always think of you. I think something on chronic lateness. But, but one of the things they were saying is that it doesn't necessarily be passive aggressive. It's that they've got too much on their plate.
Yeah.
And I think this is a society where we've got almost too many friends, too many people, too many opportunities.
Too many connections,
like
with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
Yes,
yeah,
yes. And we have to really balance that out in terms of who is the companion, who's life-giving. And that's where I think we hang.
I love it. Who makes your soul robust and big? And I like it.
And even if it's instant, like those people at that table, they said we've just been friends ever since. I mean, what could be more natural?
Right. Right.
You know, not pushing bars, but I mean, because it was a bar restaurant, but we can meet great people at the strangest of places.
You're right. I do think it's a gift from God. People who walk into our lives and really, I think, oh, thank you for putting that person in my path. And
Yes, I do think of us. I mean, because I think we connected one day over lunch, and that was it.
Yeah, we're easy together.
It was easy.
Yeah, great.
So everybody have a great day with people that mean something to you, and tell them.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Thanks, Dr. Nick. More Weekends with Whitney after this. Thanks for sharing your time with us here on Weekends with Whitney. We hope to see you back here again next week. But until then, we leave you with this.
Will a circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better on the way in the sky, Lord, in the sky.